Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin continues to grind higher as we speak, now at 58k. I think it's a new 2024 high. And we're heading closer to all-time high territory, and it's getting a little crazy, especially because from an Elliott Wave point of view, I mean, this is the daily chart. The third wave top here was actually at around, what was it, 64,000, 65,000 pretty much. Yeah, this was actually the top of the bull market in 2021. From an Elliott Wave point of view, the actual all-time high, which was made around 68,500, 68,600. This was actually only a top of a corrective wave. Okay, so yes, it's an actual all-time high, of course, but the actual correction started actually here at 65k. So getting a break above that third wave high would be pretty cool. But anyway, you know, we should get there anyway, sooner or later. So I'm not entirely sure if we get there in this current advance, in this current rally. If we do, I think what we might get, and I explained that already yesterday, and this is very important, yeah. I think what might happen, and that's speculation because it would be a lot of additional extensions to the upside, but we're obviously now in a broader range where this circle wave 3 can finish. So that's what I tried to explain yesterday. We have several Fibonacci levels. There are so many different ways how I can measure target here for this circle wave 3 that, you know, I don't put them all on the chart because there are a lot, you know, and it would get very messy. On the daily chart, I try to keep it clean. But when we entered the area above 55, 56k, I mean, that was the area where circle wave 3 could finish. It doesn't have to finish, so it can, of course, go higher, which is why I always said like 55, 56k plus. And yesterday I put an update out on Telegram and Discord, but I also mentioned it here in the video. It is possible if we see further extensions in circle wave 3 here, which is part of that larger Roman wave 3, that we might get just a poke above resistance, yeah, like maybe just a wick above resistance, above the all-time high, the previous all-time high, make basically a new all-time high, and then break down into wave 4 or the B wave, because there are two wave counts that can take us to all-time high territory. And so far, Bitcoin has followed this all-time high bullish or this bullish wave count very well for more than a year now. Of course, there are sometimes small adjustments, but Bitcoin is adhering very well to the white count. The yellow count should not be ruled out. It is only going to become less likely above 65k. So if we really see a sustained break above 65k, then the yellow count will get less likely. This is a count in which we're dealing with an ending diagonal pattern, and that started in 2018, and we're just in the fifth wave of that ending diagonal. I would count that as an A, B, C structure. So at some point there might be a B wave pullback, a deeper pullback. Okay, it could even get into the 30, 35k region. Now, nothing I could predict or forecast or confirm until this yellow in upper support area is broken. So the white count remains the preferred scenario. I would just have to slightly adjust support now actually for this fourth wave. So if this fourth wave happens, this is currently the preferred scenario where we say, okay, the next move down should be another fourth wave. Support areas between 47,500 and 38k. A break below 38k is needed to confirm that we are in a lower, that we're going to address or target a lower support area in the yellow B wave. So trend is up, trend never broke. Not surprising what Bitcoin is doing. It's just going up in line with what the medium-term forecast is showing actually. And the microstructure, we're going to take a look at that now, but I highlighted yesterday, as long as we are not breaking below the micro support area I communicated, I think it was 54k, we should see further upside, further extensions, another 4-5 pattern. I'm going to take a look at that now. But please be aware that we're very close to all-time high territory. And this is between 64 and 69k. What happened in the past when we approached all-time high territory, a lot of new people come into the space, a lot of new people, a lot of uneducated people, no disrespect, but not uneducated, but about crypto. So it's normal. So it's just something to be aware of, that this often means that people are then gonna look at Bitcoin and say, oh, you know, it's very expensive, so let's buy some altcoins. And that's sometimes a trigger for decent altcoin rallies. I mean, it's precisely what we've seen already in the last few weeks. Altcoins are starting to go, but I don't think we've seen that euphoria yet. Now, maybe we're starting to get into it. Okay, so let's go to the shorter time frame count. Starting to think, this might have been wave 4 already, but it's still very shallow. So it's difficult to say really. But the idea is that obviously this is the 1 hour chart. And here by the way, you see here still the move from the fourth wave low there. Fourth wave low was on the 23rd of Jan. So fourth wave low, we're now in this fifth wave. That fifth wave can of course extend, but it hasn't extended to any crazy wave degrees. So what we want to talk about now is, first of all, the structure. So the idea is wave 4 bottomed here. We're now in wave 5 of a larger third wave. That larger fourth wave pullback is due, as I showed you on the daily time frame. Here, this fourth wave would be due shortly. It's due now, okay? It's just that I won't confirm a top until we break micro support. So what is the micro support level now? So the micro support level here on the 1 hour chart, it's now 54,500. See, and that's what I prefer to do. I just prefer to see, and this is now where I'm saying, okay, maybe wave 4 was already in. So honestly, it looks a bit like that this is sort of the fifth to the upside, but I'm still going to give it a chance to move higher. At some point, we just need that break of micro support. That's sort of how I would tactically approach it. We assume this was only the third because we didn't get a healthy 4. So we assume further trend continuation and let the market tell us when a top has been reached. And the top is likely reached if there is a break below 54,510. Also, next FIB extension is at 58,800. It might try to attack that. That's a level I've been stating in the last few days. 58,800, next major FIB on the larger time frame, 65K, all-time high basically. There's one more at 62 that I actually haven't got on the chart. So please be aware of these markers. And then all eyes need to be on the 54,510 level. Very strong uptrend, okay? Very strong uptrend. We don't want to be in the way of such a trend, such a rally. So I'm not going to tell you this is over soon. I've never done that. I can only tell you that, yeah, a pullback is due in this larger fourth wave. But as you know, we always need a break below micro support to confirm it. We simply go with the trend, okay? I'm not going to look at the monthly RSI and say it's overbought. And people say, oh, it can't go on, it can't go on. People who do this, they don't understand that these indicators, they can stay overheated for a long time. An overheated RSI means it's bullish. It's just bullish. It's the uptrend is still, ongoing, So be aware of that. What we want to do, we just want to look at structure, okay? Stay in the present, have maybe one foot in the future, but we need to understand what is support now. And as long as we're above support, I can measure my risk, and then, we go with the trend. So similar to here, right? Where the communication was, we're bullish above 47K, below 47K, only then the structure changes. Nothing happens above 47K. Everything that happens here is just noise. We're watching for at least one more high. And the same thing I'm going to do now. But now we're at a point where I say, okay, also the larger degree target, it's reached. So be cautious. Okay, don't be bearish, but be cautious. But it's the time now where we need to be on high alert, where if support breaks, it could trigger a larger correction. Bear in mind, this was not a larger correction what we had here between the 15th of Feb and 26th of Feb. So yeah, what can I say? Not much more. I think it's going okay. I think we might get one more 4-5 pattern. Maybe this is already the top, especially, and I have to say that, especially if sometimes we have a bit of euphoria in the market. Sometimes we don't get another clean 4-5 before it's topping. I have to say that, okay? So please don't expect another 4-5. I show it because we're holding above support right now, but essentially what we need to wait for to confirm a top in place, and I think it's close. I think it's very close. It's a break below 54,510. But I wouldn't tell you it's topped. So we just go with the trend, and I also acknowledge we could actually touch all-time high targets or the all-time high, or even slightly break above it in a last rally of euphoria. before we have a larger top in place. And again, also that wouldn't be bearish, but the market then needs to cool down again. So I think it's simply, actually at the moment, it just is about, okay, in a third wave rally, I want to stay in the trade as long as possible. I want to just adjust micro support to know how long is it running, because, it might be, I think it's going to top soon, but the market doesn't care about it. So it's about how to tactically approach it from an objective point of view. And that's sort of what we try to do. Okay, that's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.